We are moving on to the last part of 7-7 today, dealing with compound interest. Compound interest is the most common interest that you will ever see. It's the interest that banks charge you or that they pay you to lend you or for you to deposit money into the account. Compound means, if you think of compounded, like a compound sentence or compound words, you connect them together. So what happens with compound interest is the interest keeps piling up on top of each other. So again, your balance either increases or you owe more money. So we're going to develop the formula based on a table. There's going to be some problems today where you'll have to determine compound from a table. Using a table, what's the balance of an investment of $1,500 that earns an interest rate of 2% compounded annually after 6 years? Annually. What do you think annually means?
Every 6 years?
Nope. Every year. Somebody said it. Every year. There's some vocab words you need to know that I didn't create on your notes. And I want you to write the vocab word annually. And I want you to write the word semi-annual. And I want you to write the word quarterly. And those are pretty much the three main vocab words aligned with interest. Annually means once a year, right? Once a year. Semi-annual, what do you think? Half a year, so twice a year. You say twice a year. And quarterly, what do you think about quarter? 4 times a year. So you need to know those vocab words. That annual means 1, semi-annual means 2, quarterly means 4. Okay, so our first year, the interest that we earn, you plug in I equals PRT. This is where you plug in the simple interest formula. I equals PRT. So what we're going to earn that first year, you go 1,500 times 0.02 times 6. Definitely need your calculator for this. Plugging it into my calculator is 180 bucks. That's my interest. That's how much I earned. I lied. Why did I lie? What did I do wrong? I shouldn't write 6. I'm going to figure out 6 years. What should really be here? 1. Silly me. I'm like, wow, they earned a lot of money in a year. Okay, restart that. 30 bucks? Okay, so now my new balance, I'm going to go 1,500 plus the 30, 1,530. Now you don't have to show me all this little math, but I do write it out because when I'm first exposing you, I like you to see where my numbers are coming from. So 1,530. Now I got $30 more that I'm going to earn interest on. Okay. So what happens is this comes down here. In year 2, I'm going to earn interest on the interest that I got paid. So year 2, it's 1,530 times 0.02 times 1. I equals PRT. 15. Right, you don't even have to do times 1. Is 3060. So I earned 60 cents more that second year than I did that first year. Woo! What are we going to do with all that? Now my balance is going to be my previous balance, 1,530, plus my interest, 3060, which is, oh, come on, me, 1560. I'm sorry that my writing is getting sloppy there, but I'm sure you can follow along. Year 3. Well, my balance is now 1560. And I'm going to times it by 0.02. Not by 1 because I don't need to. And that's 31.21. Okay, and so my new balance is going to be the 1560.60 plus my 31.21 is 1591.81. Okay, tedious, right? Oh goodness, lots of time this is taking. So year 4, I'm 1591.81 times 0.02. I know it's hard to see, it's kind of blurry as I'm looking at it. Hopefully you're following along with your calculator. I get 31.83. Notice each year my interest keeps increasing, not by much, but it keeps increasing. So my balance then is 15.
84?
Yeah,
It's 84.
Good job. You're right. Silly me. See, what would I do if you guys didn't keep up with me? I'd teach you all wrong. And wouldn't that stink? What if I made a mistake in table 2? Or that row 2? And oh gosh, and then you gotta erase all that and recalculate it. 1591.81 plus 31.84 is 1623.65. Oh, we're almost done. Fifth year. 1623.65 times 0.02 is 32.47. And then my new balance is 1656.12, and that's me adding them. I'm going to skip that adding part, right? I'm just going the 1623.65 right here, add the interest that I earned. My balance is 1656.12.
First time it went up by 60 cents, then 61, then 62, then 63.
Is that
Cents.
really? And that may be coincidental. I don't know that for a fact though. The next one, our interest. I just like to keep this number stored in my calculator, and then I go times 0.02, and I get 33.12. And then I go 33.12 plus the previous balance is 1689.24. Okay, compound. Woo. See how the interest compounded? It followed it down. I earned interest on my interest. It does not work with just simple interest. I want us to calculate and compare if we earn simple interest on it. The interest would be 1,500 times what? 0.02 times 6.
At least all of these are like 2, 3, some more.
180 plus the 1,500 is 1,680, and its actual balance is 1,689.24 when you compound it. Okay? I want you to fill in that last table. So as you saw, with 9 minutes for us to complete a table, that gets pretty tedious. There is a formula involved that we can compound simple interest quickly utilizing it. How we say it is B equals P times 1 plus R to the N. Okay? The B is balance. The P is the principal, what you start with. The R is the interest rate, and N is the number of compounds, right? If it's compounded, or its actual time is what you call it. Now notice everything relates to annual. Everything relates to one time of year. But a lot of the times it's semi-annual or quarterly, so you have to keep that in mind with interest rate as well as your compound your time. So if you think about it, N you think would be time, but how many times is it happening? Well, how many compounds you have and how long it's been there years-wise. This is years. So N equals the number of compounds times your time. So compounds times years is your N. Second, your interest rate. Interest rate again is given to you in an annual situation. So to determine it, you have to know how many compounds you have. So the interest rate is divided between the compounds you have for a year. So it's rate divided by compounds. And then you'll evaluate inside parentheses and raise it to that nth power and times it by the principal. Now I'm just going to show you how I do this. Okay? Balance is equal to my principal times 1 plus r to the n. It's just a formula that hangs out in my head. You don't even know how many formulas I have hanging out in here all the time. So, I know my principal. The first thing you need to know is determine your n and determine your r. My r is not 4%. My n is not 6. I have to keep in mind that I'm compounded semi-annually. How many times is semi-annually? Twice. So my n, according to what we said, n is equal to compounds times time, right? So my compounds is 2 times my time is 6, n is 12. My interest rate, r, was equal to my rate divided by my compounds, right? Well, my compounds is 2 because I'm semi-annual, so I'm dividing that 4% by 2. So it's 4% divided by 2 is 2%, which we say 0.02. Now I plug in. Oh my goodness, here it comes. This is the biggest issue for students most of the time is knowing what N and R is. Plugging in seems to be a little bit better. So I'm going to do my principal, 13,000, times my 1 plus my R, which is 0.02, to the nth power, which is 12. Now notice where everything went. This went here, and this went there. And then I just plug it in. In my calculator, this is how I do it. I know 1 plus 0.02 is 1.02. So in my calculator, I hit 1.02 and I hit to that little caret button, 12th power, and then I hit enter, and you're going to get some crazy decimal. Do not round it. And then from there, I hit times 13,000, and now I can round it when I get to this point. You don't round to the end. Okay? So my balance is equal to $16,487.14. All right, according to my little steps here, I'm going, this next example, first determine my N. My N is equal to my compounds. What's semi-annual mean? How many? 2. So 2 times my time is 4. My second thing I'm figuring out is my rate. My R is equal to my interest rate, 9, divided by 2, which is 4.5%, which is 0.045. And 3 I plug in. So balance is equal to principal times 1 plus R to the nth power. My principal, how much I started with, was $25,000. Times, now right away here, I just know 1 plus the decimal, I just stick them together. 1.045 to the nth, which was, we determined, 8. So now in my calculator, I just go 1.045 to the 8th, and I hit enter. I hit enter, so it stores it. Now that's just chilling in my calculator's memory. Now I go times 25,000, and this is where I make my estimation, 30